Welcome to Hammer Dahn,
Dad.
#1 sports gambling podcast coming out of the Pat McAfee Incorporated offices. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you that today is Big Sale Friday. Our entire website, store.patmcafeeshow.com, is 20% off. We do have Hammer Dahn merch on there. Gumpy and I are wearing Hammer Dahn ugly Christmas sweaters. You like these, Mike? Can you see them?
I love them. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, look
yeah,
at it. You got the nice
my
blue.
fan shirt today. You know,
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Let's go.
You look good.
I got little Colts colors going here. I like it.
Michael,
Nice.
you can find Michael's hoodie on the website. Also 20% off. Everything's 20% off. And if you buy something, you're entered in, you could win one of 3 PS5s that Pat is giving away as well. So a nice little deal there. Like I said, I am Tone Diggs. This is Hammer Dahn. We talk gambling. Let's do that. Let's get to that. Pat McAfee Show. Mr. Pat McAfee will be joining us. Sitting next to him is Kyle Gump Cathcart.
Good day, Tony.
Good man. He's from Canada. He brings the nukes. He brings the stats. He brings the trends. Joining us on FaceTime is a former NFL GM. What's going on, Pat?
A lot of juice coming in.
Former NFL GM, host of the Lombardi line on VSiN, the Daily Shuffle Pod. Or sorry, the GM Shuffle Pod, the Daily Coach, and writes for the Athletics. Sorry, you do so many things, Michael. I got things confused there.
The more you can do, the better off you
Hey,
are.
Or you can
you're
do
not
my
starting
friend.
the day with the Daily Coach. What are you doing?
You're wrong. You're wrong if you're not doing that.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's growing big. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All your help.
I watched, I read it, before I walked in here. A lot of juice going on out in the office for this week in general for our show, being the time where we get back on our bullshit from a couple weeks ago.
Yes, 1000%.
When we just hand out all winners. We don't get duped this weekend.
No.
Not today.
Not today. This weekend is the weekend when the nukes are lining up with the power rankings and the scared and the feel betters. We are going to get hot this weekend. That's what we're going to do. That's why the vibe's good on this Big Sale Feel Good Friday.
Big Feel Good Friday.
I feel good. You feel good? You guys feel good?
I do.
I do. I looked at the board and I was like, hey, good board out
That
there.
board could get got.
Yeah. You got to get yours more than you get got, though.
Now, there's some great games that I feel good about, like my normal process, and there's a couple games where I'm like, they should win, but there's some things I'm worried about.
Go ahead.
So, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Fuck.
Andy Reid off of a bye. He's like 17-7 or something like that in the regular season. Chiefs revenge game because they lost earlier in the year. Chiefs revenge game because Andy's pissed that they were driving buses around the stadium. The Chiefs know they win this game. They basically win the division.
Chiefs 5-0 against the spread. Last 5 following against the spread loss.
All of those things. Great.
Vendettas.
Great for the Chiefs.
Yes.
They're the better team. They have Pat Mahomes. Blah, 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 blah. The only thing that worries me is they are number 27 or something like that in yards per rush on defense, and the Raiders are number 5 in the league in yards per rush on offense. So that's the only thing that scares me. Should I be scared about that, Michael Lombardi?
Well, I'm not at all. I think this is a game that they'll come out. I mean, Andy Reid's going to do a lot of different things. The Raiders are going to have a walkthrough Sunday morning if they get these guys back.
Mm-hmm.
If they get them back. Now, there's no guarantee they'll get their defense back, but their defense isn't very good anyway. I think this is Kansas City being explosive. And one thing about the Chiefs defense with Chris Jones in there, rested, knowing what they have to do to stop it, I think this is a game the Chiefs show their dominance and win this by 10 points.
And by the way, I like that Andy Reid is using that victory lap thing as motivation, knowing that, hey, listen, their entire team is out, of COVID right now. They're not even going to be able to practice. Your team has not really been as dominant in every single game as the Chiefs should be. It's about that time last year where the Chiefs started taking off and separating themselves from everybody. It does feel like this is a blowout waiting to happen, even though the Raiders beat them just a few weeks back.
Yeah, I mean, look, Sammy Watkins they got all their guys. There's no excuses. It's indoor. It's pristine conditions. You get that team on carpet with pristine conditions, I think they're tough to play. I like them a lot. I do. I like this is one of those I'm definitely going to be on.
Pat, I know you're on this, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
Gumpy, you got nukes for us on this one?
I mean, the Chiefs are just a force against the spread, like you were talking about, Tony. Chiefs 9-1 against the spread versus teams with a winning record last 10. 12-3-1 against the spread their last 16 as a favorite. 24-9-1 against the spread their last 34 road games. And the Raiders 6-16 against the spread their last 22 following a straight up win.
Bro. So this is one of those ones we're all on again. It's gonna be a problem.
No. We're gonna get back to when it was.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I still say that was the right side last night.
Oh yeah, let's talk about
Lombardi, these decisions being
Cardinals shot themselves in the foot.
Well, I think, like I said yesterday on the show, I think it was a game that they had to have. I mean, let's face it, they had to have it. It was do or die. They're wild card at best if they don't win that game. And there was a sense of urgency in their play. And look, as bad as the Cardinals played in the game, they got a chance to throw. I mean, he misses that 7 cut over to Isabella. Guy's open for a touchdown. He's going to tie that game up. He's just a little late with the throw. I thought he was hurt. I really did.
Yeah.
I didn't think his shoulder felt the best.
Well, I mean, the 3rd and 2, the 3rd down stop that turns into a personal foul, touchdown 2 things later. The time of game you're talking at the end there. You take 3 straight shots at the end zone. You have nothing but time there. You don't have. I mean, there's a lot of things last night where the Cardinals played nowhere near the best football they could play. And maybe this is going to be the thing. What is it in the football business, in the coaching world? Like, potential will get you fired. Like, somebody's potential will get you fired, because it's always like, we have the potential to be this. We have the potential to be this. The Cardinals' potential has lost me a lot of money this year, but I still feel like if they ever hit their potential, they could really do some damage, I think.
Yeah, I want to go back to the Raider game. If you look, other than that game in Kansas City this year, they lost by 8. They've beaten the Raiders by 31, 18, 32, 7, and 11 the last 5 games.
Bam, boom, pow.
So you're saying they have the ability, and the last
the game they won in week 2 of last year, they won 28-10. They only scored in the second quarter. They scored 28 points, but they only scored in the second quarter. Here's their yardage in these games: 408, 469, 409, 467, 259, and they scored 40. And then last game they had 413.
And that defense,
I don't know. I mean, they're going to get over 400 yards. He's not going to turn. They're not going to turn the ball over. You tell me how the Raiders keep it within 8.
And Tyrann Mathieu, right? I feel like he's pretty emotional guy. If they are, and by the passionate guy, I shouldn't say emotional guy, passionate guy. The victory lap thing could be something where, you know what I mean? Like, that defense last year was playing really good, and it was not talked about much. Maybe this is something, this week is one where they're like, let's go ahead and just take this will be interesting. Chris Jones back, you said healthy, rested. This feels like a hammer on top of all hammers, right? I mean, this really does.
It almost seems too good to be true.
It does, doesn't it? Which I'm not scared about.
It feels very much like when they played the Bills, to be honest. And they put a number on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, in shitty weather.
Yeah.
Let me look. I'm trying to look at so 60% of the tickets are on the Chiefs. 91% of the money is on the Chiefs. So
fuck.
No, I mean the big money. I mean,
Going to go to 8.5 before the weekend.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Oh, we got to get that now, you're saying? Is that going to be an early lock for all of us for the weekend?
Yeah.
I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to go up. I don't think there's smart money coming in on Vegas to keep it down.
No.
Are we all locking that in? I would like to lock that in as one of my bets for the weekend. Right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
-8, please and thank you.
-8? Is that what you're getting to, Lombardi?
Yes, sir.
All right, me as well. All right, here we go.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right.
Another game that I found.
Is that yours too? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm in on that.
All right, let's go. Hey, we need to get a team bet needs to get back on the winning side.
Well, I said it was one of those games that I had one thing that I was worried about, and that was Josh Jacobs in the Vegas running game to keep it out of the hands of the Chiefs. And Lombardi said, "Hey, fucking don't worry about it, pal." And then I fucking kissed my Maloican and Tyan Horn, and I said, "Let's go, fucking forward."
But here's the thing about that. It's like field position with Peyton Manning. You know, one of the reasons why Belichick went for it on 4th and 1 in his own territory,
that was awesome.
because field position with Peyton Manning really didn't matter. Because if he punts it there, Peyton could have had the ball there in 3 plays, right? Boom, 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 he's down the field. You know, Jacobs, he can hold the ball forever. At 3 plays, Kansas City's going to score. Kansas City never wins look, they only had the ball for 21 minutes against the Carolina Panthers, scored all those points.
School. All right, we're all on the Chiefs.
All right, let's go, boys.
Another one that I had one concern about, and that was Packers and Colts -1.5. Packers at the Colts -1.5. Packers are a little nooky for you here, Gumpy. And you know it. You told me, but we all know about it. Packers are 12-0 ATS after an ATS loss.
Their last 72, Tony, after an against the spread loss, 48-23-1.
So Rodgers is very good after not covering the spread. They are going to Indianapolis, no weather conditions, another team that's going to be on a fast field. I was concerned. We've talked about this with the Colts before. Are the Packers a team that can pressure Phillip Rivers?
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody really. He's got 5. He's only been sacked 5 times in the last 5 weeks.
They're number 1.
Much pressure. I think it's make them play faster. Do I think they could make them play a little bit faster? Yeah, I do. I think the key to this game is, can the Colts run the ball to keep it away from Rodgers? I think that's going to be the key. You know, when you look at these two teams in the last 5 games, both of them are 3-2. You know, both of them have protected the football really well. But I think when you look at Rodgers in the last 2 games, you know, he's averaged over 9 yards per attempt and 7.7 over the last 5. I think indoors they're healthy. I mean, I know the line has moved to the Colts. I understand that. But this is the same thing that happened in the Ravens game. The line moved to the Colts. I'm just not sure that, you know, I'm going to take in this game the best quarterback.
Yeah, I would bank on the way it's been going this year. Phillip Rivers has a good game, has a bad game, back and forth. Can he put 2 together? I'll bet on Rodgers over whether or not Phillip Rivers can put it together.
You know, I've been in a bad spot here with this game. You know what I mean, Lombardi? Like I'm in a bad spot here. One team grossly overpaid me, okay, in the Indianapolis Colts. And their defense has been legit. Darius Leonard is slighted by Aaron Rodgers, saying Fred Warner is the best inside linebacker in the game or whatever. So there's a motivated defense as well. DeForest Buckner has been a great addition to that defense that was already good. So, you know, maybe the Packers offense can't be as efficient as they seem to always be, maybe, or whatever. And then Phillip Rivers, though, that offense has been able to move here whenever Phillip Rivers has time. And with that stat you just said about the O-line protecting him in the last 5 games, I mean, they're going to be able to move, and Nyheim Hines could potentially make people miss. So I'm really torn. So we put it up to a poll, a Viva La Zito poll, on who I should be rooting for this weekend, because obviously personal relationship with Aaron, he has done a lot for our show. I mean, he is an incredibly nice human to everybody. And then the Colts, they grossly overpaid me, so I'm kind of torn. Right now, the poll has over 15,000 votes. Colts 51%, Packers 49%. So it's like this game is one where everybody's like, who knows what's going to happen here?
Yeah, I mean, and I had the Packers on my power rankings. I got to send them to you as the favorite. I mean, I thought Green Bay should have been the favorite in this game by just a point, you know. And if I get Aaron in a 1.5, I think I got to take it.
We will see if we take those later in the show when we do our picks.
Yeah.
Titans at Ravens -5. I believe it opened at 6.5. The Ravens were -6.5. It's coming down. Both teams are tough to get a read on right now. Michael, do you have a read on this game at all?
Well, I think, first of all, let's start on the injury front here in this game. It's a concern because the Ravens' 2 best defensive linemen, Williams and Calais Campbell, neither have practiced as of today. This is Friday, so that's a concern. The Tennessee Titans offensive line has got Saffold's not going to play. They're going to start Isaiah Wright, their first-round draft pick, is going to see his first action of the season in the game. So, you know, the both defensive line of the Ravens and the offensive line of the Titans are kind of going through a transitional state. So that's the injuries are concerning there. When you break down, and I spent some time on the Titans this week, really where the Titans have failed the better and failed all of us is their inability to make explosive plays like they did earlier in the season. They were really good at making explosive plays and getting the ball down the field. They haven't been able to do that. If you look in the last 5 weeks, they have just been they make no plays over 25 yards, and Tannehill has kind of regressed to the norm. And this will be a challenging game. Now, I don't know if Jimmy Smith's going to play. Marcus Peters has been hurt. The Ravens are kind of beat up in this game. And I think that's the concern that you have is when they do that, when you break this, they're 1-3. The Titans are 1-3 in the last last 4 games, and they've averaged 6.95 yards per attempt down the field. Here's the scary part about that. They've only turned the ball over 1 time in those 4 games.
Their defense looked very bad against the Colts.
Yep.
That
last game against the Colts, they made no plays of over 25 yards in the game. They've had 6 over the last, so they're not getting it down the field. They're not making plays down, and if that's what they were doing earlier in the year, and that's why they haven't scored the point. They've only scored 85 points in the last 4 weeks.
And they're a team. I kind of talked about this with the Seahawks last night. The Seahawks, I saw like juice from them again. You know what I mean? Like it felt like the attitude was back. Like there was a little bit of swagger. It looked like they'd been dead for a couple of weeks, which is why I asked, like, and it's hard to have juice whenever you're playing bad football, but it just looked like a different Seahawks team. And little did we know, I mean, there was a nuke that was left out, is the Seahawks going into last night were 6-0 in those action green uniforms that they wore.
Oh.
They became 7-0 last night in those uniforms.
That's a real thing.
That's something that could potentially be. But they look like they had the juice back. The Titans haven't had that, like, the feel that they had last year. You know, like or maybe they had earlier in the year when Derrick Henry's just rolling over people and like Vrabel's doing this. And I think Taylor Lewan being out is a big deal. I have no way. I don't know which way to go on this particular one. I like the Titans, but then I immediately think, like, are they going to be the team that they could be? Which is what I've been betting on a lot here in losing with. Are they going to be the team that they could be? And hopefully that's the case.
Here's where I think potentially maybe the story of the game. Tennessee runs the ball the 6th most in the NFL. Baltimore runs the ball 2nd most in the NFL. They are number 8 and number 5 in running the ball. Surprisingly, Baltimore's defense is number 21 in stopping the run, and Tennessee's defense is number 20 in stopping the run. So whatever defense is going to potentially be able to stop the run may potentially win this ball game.
What's the over-under on that game?
The over-under, let me see. It opened at 49.5, which is not low. It's not a low total. It's still at 49.5.
Okay, if they're going to run the ball that much, you can. I mean,
does that make sense, Michael? Do you think they will try to run the ball with those defenses potentially not being great at it?
If you add up the passing game, the last 2 times Tennessee's played Baltimore, 2018 when Matt LaFleur was calling plays, until last year in the playoff game, they've thrown for 134 yards combined in both games.
So the under it feels like that's probably the smart bet of the game there, because it's going to be a lot of clock, a lot of clock back and forth.
They're both going to try to run the ball. Now the Ravens are, I wrote this for The Athletic today. The Ravens are 42 yards less per game running than they were last year, and Lamar's 20 yards down than he was last year, and so they've got to figure out a way to get those yards. That missing 42 yards is what they need to get back. Somehow they got to make an explosive run. They can do it against Tennessee's run defense for sure.
And I mean, we talked about it a little bit on Pat's show. Like, these games are huge. There's so many teams at 6-3. These are 2 of them. There's the top 2 teams in the Steelers and Chiefs. They're probably going to win their divisions. And then every other single team that's in the playoff hunt has 3 losses. Like, every single game this time of the year football's the best. You said it. Football's the best.
Football's the best, man. There's some shit teams. There's some great teams, and then there's a lot of teams that are looking to get in right now.
It's funny. It's like Pittsburgh. Typically I would say Pittsburgh and lay the 10 against a bad team in Jacksonville, but the Thursday slate, I think, impedes is something that we got to talk about. Baltimore's got to turn around and play Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on Thursday night while we stuff turkey down our throats. I mean, that's a tough. That's a tough. You're playing Tennessee, then Pittsburgh. That's hard. You went New England, Tennessee, Pittsburgh in 10 days. I mean, that's a gruel for them.
That is some gruel.
Yeah, but for the Steelers, their bye week was week 4 or whatever.
Yeah, they had a similar situation where because of that, they then had to play Tennessee, Baltimore.
Right. My question to you guys are: if you like Pittsburgh and laying the 10, do you think Pittsburgh's going to fly to Jacksonville and get in and out of there as quick as they can, win by 7, and go home?
I took them as a teaser, by the way.
I think the Jaguars are playing decent football right now, Mike. That's why I wouldn't lay the points with the Steelers.
I wouldn't lay the points on that reason. I mean, the last 2 weeks, this Jacksonville has played better. But then you're asking a rookie quarterback against Pittsburgh's pass rush. Jacksonville's given up 15 sacks in the last – they give up 3 sacks a game, and this poor kid's going to get the shit knocked out of him.
As a Steelers fan, I don't trust him.
We're not laughing at him, by the way, getting hurt.
No.
We're just saying, like, that that is very much what's going to happen.
I don't trust them. It's a bad idea to trust them to go on the road as a double-digit favorite and look good.
All right, so here's the other thing I think we have to think about. The look-ahead lines, we learned this last week. Cardinals at Seattle, the look-ahead line was 5.5. It ended up being 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
And when the line moved to the team, if you would have taken the team, you won. The Browns opened up -2. They're up to -2. They're up to -3.5. The Packers opened up -2.5. Now the Colts are -1.5. The Ravens were at -7. Now the Ravens are -6. The Vikings opened up at 9.5. Now they're down to 7.5. The Dolphins opened up pick'em, and now they're -3, maybe going to 3.5. The Chargers opened up at 10.5. Now they're -9. That's the riddle we got to solve.
Where it's going.
No, I'm not solving any riddles. I'm feeling things out.
Michael, one more game I want to go through before we get to the picks, and I know you got to go at 4, so we'll do it quickly. The news this morning of Taysom Hill being the starter, even though that Sean Payton says he hasn't named a starter, but everyone's reporting Taysom Hill is going to be the starter. What does that do for you in this game?
I think you can see the betting lines coming hard in on the Falcons. I think Sean needs to know what he has. The other report that came out about that there's no role for Winston, to me, was really strange. Like, that made no sense to me at all. I'm not saying it's not true. It just doesn't make sense to me because you need Taysom's not, he's not really played a lot of games. I think that Winston would actually have to get in there. And plus, Hill's been hurt in college, so you'd have to get Winston ready to play at some capacity. So,
well, why would that get out, too?
Their offense.
Lombardi. Why would that even get out of the building either?
That makes no sense at all to me, Pat. I don't know who. There's no way Sean Payton told that and said, "Oh, we didn't give any reps to Winston this week." Why? Who would say that? Those who know Sean Payton, the fact that the Hill thing got out, he's probably raising hell in his building that somebody leaked that out, if that's true.
Golly. Yeah, because maybe it was Jameis's people that leaked it, because
who knows?
There has to be, or it was just
I found
a troll by
just
somebody.
like you. I was very surprised because when they announced that Taysom was starting, I was like, okay, he may be starting, but he may take the first snap of the game. But Jameis is going to get some reps, and then 10 minutes later, it came out that Jameis doesn't have a package. I was super surprised as well.
It's stupid. Just none of it makes sense.
All right, you guys come to the show for one reason.
Yep. Can we put the records up? See where we're at?
Yeah, put the records up, Mitt.
Oh, I thought I was 2-1 last night.
Oh.
I thought I was 2-1 last night. No, was it? No, I was 1-1. I put a tweet out very publicly. Hey, I like Kenyon Drake to score a toucher, but it wasn't on this show, so it doesn't count. That is only on this show. I understand. Lombardi, 19-19. Let's go, bud. Huh? Maybe take 7-8 swings at the thing. Maybe 7-8 picks this week.
I'm going to take the Eagles and the 3 points.
Oh, jeez. No Myles Garrett.
I'm going to take Kansas City, lay the 8. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Bucks minus the 4.
Oh.
And, I think I'm going to take the Packers, and I'll take the 1.5. There's 4 for you right there.
Why do you like the Bucks so much since we didn't talk about it against the Rams? I believe that's on Monday night.
Yep.
I guess, you know what? Save it for Monday. We'll talk about it on Monday.
Yep. I'll take the Packers and the minus and get the 1.5.
So you
like the Eagles, Mike?
Yep. I know the Eagles' run stats are horrendous, but without Myles Garrett, the Eagles better move the football effectively.
They better. Gumpy.
This is make or break for the Eagles. This is one of those games they have to win.
Just like last night, you said it for the Seahawks.
Yep.
Gumpy, go ahead.
God darn it.
I'm taking the Bengals and the points.
Ooh.
I like that.
Bengals 6-0 against the spread last 6, following a straight-up loss. 4-0 against the spread last 4 versus a team with a losing record.
Boom.
6-2 against the spread their last 8 games.
Boom.
5-2 against the spread their last 7 and as an underdog.
Bang, bang, bang.
Football team 0-4 against the spread their last 4 as a favorite.
Boom.
And the underdog in this meeting is 4-0 against the spread last 4 meetings.
I like this.
I did originally like that bet, and then not that Joe Mixon has been playing a lot. That one hurt him being out, and then T. Higgins potentially with an illness. So something to watch.
So there's a lot of things going on here.
Something to watch. Just something to watch.
Is Chase Young playing?
I don't know. Go ahead, Gumpy.
Joe Burrow's going to want to beat Chase Young.
Taking the Patriots -1.5. Patriots 7-3-1 against the spread. Their last 11 versus the Texans. Texans 4-10 against the spread last 14 home games, and 1-5 against the spread their last 6 as a home dog.
Okay.
They stink.
Okay. Boom.
And I'm gonna do something that I do not do often.
Whoa.
I'm taking the fish.
Dolphins. Let's go.
Dolphins 5-1-1 against the spread. Their last 7 as a favorite.
Boom.
4-1 against the spread. Last 5 road games.
Boom.
7-1 against the spread. Their last 8 versus Denver.
Boom.
And 4-0 against the spread. Their last 4 in Denver.
Bang, bang, bang.
Michael, why does that open up as a pick 'em and go to 3 when the Broncos have looked so fucking bad?
I have no idea. It's a scary game to me. And both teams. If you watch Drew Lock, I mean, you think this line should be 6, not 3.
And he was questionable. He has practiced today and yesterday with his ribs.
It's scary. It's really scary. I don't see it.
It's scary.
I mean, I would lean. I agree with Gump. I agree with that. I think Miami's a good play. I bet on all the circuit contests, Miami will be the most popular play of the weekend.
Go ahead, Gumpy.
I'm laying the 7 with the Vikings.
Boom.
Cowboys 0-5 against the spread their last 5 meetings in Minnesota.
Boom.
0-5 against the spread their last 5 versus the Vikings.
Bang.
Vikings 6-1 against the spread their last 7.
Boom.
And they're 4-1 against the spread their last 5 following an against the spread win.
Michael, I was also going to take the Vikings, and I was kind of scared off by the stat that Malone is 10-2 ATS after a bye. Should that scare me?
Post one?
Count that up to Rodgers.
Malone, who?
Who's Malone?
Oh, you mean? Oh, I got it. I went back and looked that up.
McCarthy.
I mean, he's had a lot of hard time with Mike Zimmer when he was in Green Bay. Struggled on third down against Mike Zimmer. He struggled to move the football against Mike Zimmer. Averaged under 6 yards of completion against Mike Zimmer. It's not a really good matchup for him up there.
And that was when he had Aaron Rodgers and not Andy Dalton. Gump.
Yes.
Continue.
Taking the Packers and the points. Everything we talked about already. And the underdog in this matchup. 4-1 against the spread last 5 meetings.
Boom.
Okay.
And then the last one is the Chiefs for everything we talked about.
Beautiful.
Yeah, boy.
All right, Patty Mac.
I got the Saints -3.5. Let's go. Just feels like Taysom Hill and Sean Payton are going to be celebrating, laughing in everybody's faces on Sunday.
I agree with that.
Cincinnati Bengals +1.5. I like them, even with the injuries. I like Joe Burrow. I feel like they play teams close. The under in Baltimore and Tennessee, because the running that's going to happen. I like the Dolphins -3.5 as well. And the Kansas City Chiefs, because we're all in on that one.
Love
Beautiful. I am taking the Vikings
Let's go.
-7. Their run game is just going to dominate the Cowboys. I have the Chiefs for all the reasons we talked about. Unfortunately, I'm going the Falcons because I think Taysom Hill stinks.
Oh, okay. No, that's not unfortunate, dude. It's your bet.
Well, I mean, I just don't like going against people in a room.
No, that's all right, dude. It happens.
I'm going with the Patriots. Also, the run game, good run game versus Houston's terrible, just like the Cleveland Browns last week. Hopefully, nobody runs out of bounds this week.
Yeah, smart.
And then my heart said that my number one bet of the week was going to be on the Bengals. I fucking loved them against the Washington football team. And then I did all the research, and I'm going to take the Washington football team.
Really?
Yeah.
Man,
That's gutsy there.
Trust me, I don't like it.
there's a chance 2 of these that I picked, you were right. That's going to
No,
it'll be an honor to turn the pinky ring over to you if this is the week.
I mean, I don't like them. It's just
Me neither, though.
I
I've been
have to follow what I do.
Yeah, you got to process, dude.
I
Trust
have
the
a process.
Do what you do, pal.
Michael, you head over to New England, do your interview, and we can't thank you enough.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Be in touch. We'll be touch.
Oh yeah,
Atta babe,
oh
bye.
yeah.
Hey,
we'll be in touch.
boy, Paisan. Have a good one.
Tell you what, it's turned into an exciting thing right now.
What's that, dude?
The +1, -1 Survivor. We're down to 2.
Yeah, pretty pumped
Is
about it.
you, Pat
The
McAfee,
2 big guns.
and Mitt.
Let's go. I could potentially have 2 pinky rings.
You could have
This could be
2
big. Let's go.
pinky rings. Mitt, we'll start with you. Who do you like?
All right.
Jesus Christ.
You ever
dude.
It's my favorite part of the week. Dude.
Jeez, dude.
Favorite part of the week.
Come on, bro.
All right. I'm going to be going with the Colts here. I'm thinking the
wow.
hometown
You
team.
idiot.
All we need is a win, right? So
Yeah,
let's
Colts
go
money line,
hometown team, baby. Colts money line. Let's go defense.
I'm gonna go with the Packers then.
Yes.
So we'll just do that game. Whoever wins wins.
I
it.
love that move.
Oh my God! What if the Colts? Because I just took the Pack, and I only took the Packers there just for this.
I know.
You know.
End it.
And then I guess I'd have a lot to talk about with Aaron on Tuesday. You know what I mean?
If Teddy starts for the Panthers,
Which is an if.
I will take the Panthers in the points.
If Teddy starts. So you get
I'll
10
tweet.
picks this week?
I'll tweet that out.
Oh, whoa! We're counting tweeted bets.
No, like I'll tweet it out like we did for the Cardinals
mentioned
for
it
you
here.
last week.
Okay, so I would have had to preface that with I'm going to put a Kenyon Drake anytime scorer later on Twitter.
Official.
Yeah.
Official bet.
Because, it's hard to get winners these days.
It
You know what I mean?
is a dogfight,
It's
my
hard to get
friend.
winners these days.
You got to get up pretty early in the morning if you want to hunt winners.
Yeah, really, it's hard.
Tony's going hunting.
That goddamn Kenyon Drake one. I mean, I felt so good about it, and it can't even benefit the show.
What is the holding call rule on the safety?
Yeah, it started at the half-yard line,
I was
didn't it?
very curious. I mean,
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
always thought
people
it was
on
in the end
Twitter
zone.
told me I was wrong because the hold carried on into the end zone, but I thought it was where it started.
Well, if you're throwing the flag, it's where it started at, right?
Exactly.
And where the flag lands, I mean, I feel
I would
like
think, like, in my head, if he's still holding in the end zone,
Then it is.
potentially.
so. He holds at the beginning, gets the call, let's go, let his
If
quarterback
he lets
get
us,
killed.
let's go. No, that's
So
not a good idea
if
either.
it's an egregious hold, it goes until the end of the hold. I don't know. I thought it was.
I couldn't believe how quickly they just threw the flag and said, fuck us, safety, fuck it. Like,
See ya. Punt the ball to the other team. Let's go.
Punt it away.
Move along.
Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of, what were we talking about? Oh, getting up early and hunting winners. Gumpy hit like a $4,000 parlay last week on college football.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really good at the college football.
crapshoot.
No, I don't think so.
And footy. Footy's back. Do you have footy picks for this week?
He said he has a
I have a
hammer.
plethora. I will tweet them all out Saturday and Sunday. There's tons of games, but I will give you
At
some.
Bubba Gumpino.
Lazio money line against Crotone.
God damn it, hold on.
Crotone only have 2 points on the season. Lazio haven't lost in 3.
Which league is that?
Italian Serie A.
Okay, Italy.
And then I'm also going to take RB Leipzig money line minus 115.
This is Bundesliga German.
They've won 4 of 5. They've only lost 1 all year. Frankfurt haven't won in 4. And then you also have Dortmund money line over Hertha Berlin.
This is also the Bundesliga.
Okay.
Dortmund's won 4 of 5. Hertha's only won 1 of 5. Those are all Saturday. If you want to take a shot in the dark at plus 150, Bayer Leverkusen minus 1 over Arminia Bielefeld. Leverkusen have won 4 straight. And
also the German Bundesliga.
Who am I? I'm Leverkusen. Who's the one?
minus 1, yeah. What I would do is I would take Leverkusen in a parlay with another team. Both of the money lines are probably like minus 140, minus 160. Those lines have been going up. And then Sunday, we're going back with Union Berlin. I have no idea why, but you can get them at draw no bet at FanDuel at minus 122 right now. They haven't lost in 5, and if you're feeling frisky, take them on the money line at plus 160.
Who's this again?
Union Berlin.
Oh, you love this one.
They
Earlier.
are a good squad.
Yeah, you love this one.
And here's another one in the Spanish La Liga. Real Sociedad is first in the league. They've won 5 straight. They are moneyline minus 120. They got David Silva from Man City, and the guy is an absolute maestro. They're playing great footy. Take them on the money line on Sunday as well.
That's in Spain?
Yeah. And I got a bunch more. I'll tweet them all out over the weekend.
Attaboy.
So they're minus 125 right now.
Yeah.
Also, again, this weekend, the college football parlay is back on FanDuel. Make sure you opt in. It's 5+ legs. So you got to pick 5 games, five winners, not money line winners, against the spread winners. You bet $25. If you hit 5 of 6, 6 of 7, 7 of 8, you get that $25 back. We've been doing it every week. Mine this week is Georgia Southern plus 3.5 against Army. Rice plus 0.5 against North Texas. FIU plus a 7.5 against Western Kentucky. San Diego State minus 1.5 against Nevada. Cincinnati minus 4.5 against UCF. And Georgia State minus 3.5 against South Alabama.
There we go. That one's going to hit, I think.
Chanticleers are minus 4.5 as well against App State.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh,
That one was a tough one.
App State, Coastal Carolina. Battle, kind of the
Battle, yep.
Is this the dawning of a new day? The passing of the baton?
Correct.
UCF Cincinnati.
Yes, also.
Is this the passing of the baton? Big games this weekend, those two.
And then you got, I didn't pick it because I have no idea, but Indiana being 20.5 point dogs to Ohio State seems like a lot of points.
Does it?
I don't know. It's a lot of points. I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take it. But
somewhere.
I'm not going to take it.
Find it. Go through the launch codes, pal. Go ahead and figure it out. This is the last thing we got to do this week. I'm right here. What we're doing right now?
Yeah.
Hey, Big Sale Friday. Big Sale Friday. 20% off.
Oh, here we go.
Store.patmcafeeshow.com.
Free win one of 3 PS5s. You're automatically entered to win one of 3 PS5s if you buy some.
Every time I tried to explain it to her, I found myself jumbling around.
You got to make sure you say it right.
Since 2005, teams favored by more than 14 points in a matchup of top 10 teams are 11-1 straight up, but only 5-7 against the spread.
Okay.
Oh, so it's not really.
Okay.
And then since 2005, top 10 teams favored by 30 or more points have gone 147, 192, and 2, 43% against the spread. Tomorrow you have Alabama minus 30 versus Kentucky, Clemson minus 35 at FSU, Gators minus 31.5 at Vandy, and BYU football minus 47.5 at North Alabama.
Clemson FSU one feels like it's.
FSU stinks.
Well, they play good every once in a while. Though.
Yeah, they do.
But Clemson has to be on a warpath right now.
After the Kentucky-Alabama one, Alabama's going to fucking score, and Kentucky cannot score, but Kentucky could play a little bit.
47.5 for BYU.
BYU's
I think
undefeated.
They're so good. They're like very good. But the that Clemson FSU one feels good. No, just ETN didn't go top 10 in the NFL because he wanted to go back to college.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because they had, some unfinished business or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like that's going to be they're probably going to be on a warpath if
If you had to guess.
I had to guess. I don't know. I don't know him that
Trevor
well.
will be back as well.
Yeah, that feels like
good
a
point.
50 potential. No offense, FSU. You guys are going to figure it out
offense.
maybe, but
No offense.
you just happen to be in the way, I think, of the team that's going.
All right.
I want to add that to my bet.
You want it?
Yeah.
I love
Add
that.
that one in there.
I can throw it on there.
I'll tweet out a bunch of college picks tomorrow.
Do those count?
No.
You just hinted at them.
Well, if they do, I mean, my record's fucking through the roof.
You can throw that 7-1 from last weekend up there if you want.
Can't thank you guys enough for listening and watching and spreading the word. As always, we got a bunch of merch for 20% off, like Pat said, on store.patmcafeeshow.com.
Hey, you guys did a great job designing a lot of this stuff, by the way.
These are good.
Hey, shout out Jay McAfee.
These are good.
Yeah, Jason did some. Also, Mitch, a guy named Mitch did some. A lady named Mystica, she did some.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you guys did a good job.
Good stuff.
I was pretty hands off with this whole thing.
Well,
I like to be surprised by them too. Okay, some things I like to enjoy as well.
good luck this weekend. Good luck.
Let's have a weekend.
Let's have a weekend.
Let's
Let's
have
get
a
these
weekend.
winners.
Let's
No,
go.
the ring
Let's
just fell
go.
off.
Oh, shit. Hammer.
no.
Oh, God.
Ring Dahn.